Who's in this group? PTs mostly? Who's this cluster? PTs.
There's no PA.
PA solo? What's this? This is all PTs and you.
He's representing them.
Nice baby. All right. So I'm going to approach this a little bit differently. I own a clinic. I run a clinic. I have interns come in all the time. I have people shadow me all the time. I'd like to go over what the expectations are at a clinic, but I want to look at it a little bit differently. I want to look at it as you're a guest at a party. This is a guest at the party edition. If you're coming into my clinic, or you're going to any clinical location, since this is all PTs, one PA. What's your name? Tony, I'm going to ask you all the questions. Okay. So, when you come into the clinic, there's expectations. And a lot of times people think, and I'm just going to put this out here, especially as PTs, and Tony. Everybody thinks I'm going to my clinical and they're just going to run me around and they're going to make money off of me and they're going to make me do dirty work. How many people think that's the case? You're all liars. Hey, Dave. Good to see you, buddy. So, they're all liars. Because a lot of people come in and they think, hey, this is the way it's going to be. I'm going to run around. They're just going to make me do this and that. This seems to be the rumor that I'm getting from a lot of the students that come through that I see and work in my clinic. So I'm going to change this perspective a little bit. I want you guys to look at coming into a clinic as if you're invited to a party. And guess whose party it is? It's my party. How do I make this work? If you're coming to a party, imagine if you had a party. I had a conversation with my daughter once and I said, all right, say you had a party and you wanted everybody to wear pink, but your friend calls you up and says, hey, I have a shirt that's pink, but it has some white stripes. And you say, that's okay. And then her friend says, well, my shirt's white with, pink sleeves. Well, that's okay. By the time all's said and done, everybody's in white, you're the only person in pink. It doesn't work that way. If you're gonna have a party, you kind of set some ground rules. So as you guys are coming into a clinic, you're coming to my party. You're coming to my house. You're gonna meet all of my people. And the way everybody's clinical experience is going to be different. So I'm going to give you my example and give some broad-based examples. But if you're coming into my clinic, you're meeting my family for the first time. Nothing more embarrassing than you go to a family event and your cousin comes in with a date that everybody's like, who is that? And what is going on? And we're sitting down to have dinner, but they're standing up. And we go to eat and they start smoking. Or they start telling off-color jokes. And you're like, what is happening? Who's embarrassed? A, the host of the party. B, hopefully the person who brought them. But everybody's uncomfortable in that situation. That reflects poorly on the host of the party. Whose party is it? Attaboy. So, keep in mind, when you are invited into somebody's clinic, it is an invitation. You still have pajamas. You wouldn't show up in pajamas and argue with the host. Now, I've had people argue with me in my clinic that were students. Ooh, faces, hushes. Here's the difference. I don't have an issue with an educated discussion. If it's an argument, well, I will end it very quickly. I like open conversation. All of you sitting here silently makes me nuts. So if you have questions, you can raise your hands and ask them. Sitting here quietly is not going to work for me. I'll just start picking people out and only know one name. So we all know how to call them. You want to carry yourself with professionalism. People are watching. What does that mean?
There's an expectation on us as students of this university that we can carry ourselves well and represent the school well, so people are watching to see if we do.
I blacked out at the beginning. Could you start?
I'm sorry. So
no, I'm kidding. That's exactly
right.
That was a really good answer. So, when you guys are in there, everybody's watching you. Not only everybody in your clinic, but everybody in the office, everybody in the parking lot. Everybody in every place that you go to associates you with the host of the party. Who's the host of the party?
You're the host.
You want to be aware. True story. I had someone in our office come up to me and ask, who's that person that keeps coming in and out of your office? We've noticed they keep doing A, B, and C. They have nothing to do with my clinic. They happen to be in the building, passing through doing exercise one day a week. Was A, B, and C a good thing, or was A, B, and C a bad thing? Bad. You guys live a negative lifestyle. That's sad. We're gonna need to elevate that. It was actually not a bad thing, it was a good thing. Oh my gosh, shocking. Yes. Somebody went out of their way to pay a compliment to somebody that was in my clinic because they saw them once a week. Everybody's watching you. You know who's watching you the most? Me. I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention for multiple reasons. Number one, I want to make sure you have the best experience possible in my clinic. No holds barred. You come into my clinic, you're going to have a hell of an experience. It's a shocking experience, but you're going to have an experience. Number two, I want to make sure you do not disrupt my patient flow. That is not good. Number three, I don't want you scaring away the guests of my party. The guests of my party are my patients. They're my invitation. They're the people that have followed me. You want to treat those people with respect like you would at anybody else's house that you came to. Look at your clinic as an opportunity to come to somebody's house and learn something new. Especially if you have somebody enthusiastic who has an inability to not talk and will tell you everything, which is me. I will talk about anything, anytime, anywhere. I was told I have 20 minutes. I'm going to do my best for 20 minutes because I heard there's testimony. So I'm going to watch my watch. All right? Be respectful, courteous, and remember, you're a guest in someone else's home. Whose home? You're not allowed to answer.
Yours.
I didn't hear anybody. Whose house are you in?
Yours.
Thank you. Represent yourself and the clinic well. So, clinical experience. I get to take everything that I know and I attempt to apply it. Does everybody agree with that? What a great opportunity. You get to take the books, you get to take the information, you get to put your hands on people. That's a level of respect right there. As you can see, I'm a little jazzed, I'm a little energized. I have found my voice. I have a level of respect and I know what I can do and I know what I can't do. I know how to communicate with people. I like to express this to others so I can teach you how to do that. You do not talk to people the way I talk to people because they're my friends. I wouldn't talk to your friends that way. I wouldn't talk to your friends the way I talk. Yours I might. PA, baby. All right. When you go to a party, you don't show up empty-handed. You don't come in here and say, hey, is this what we're drinking? That's crap. If you're coming into the clinic and you don't want to be there, especially my clinic, tell me. I'll send you home. I like a nice environment where you can learn because you're interacting with my guests. Just like you don't bring a dish or a drink to a party, show up ready to contribute. Oh my gosh. Know your stuff. Especially in my clinic, I'm going to ask you questions. PTs, what year PTs are in here? Second year? Is you guys set up in cliques? So what is this year?
No. We're all here.
You guys just have had enough of each other, that's why it's happening.
This row's for first year.
Okay, what's this row?
Second.
What's this corner? That's weird. All right. What year?
I'm a senior.
All right. Be engaged. Take initiative. Show that you're ready to pitch in. You have an opportunity to learn. And if you are in a setting where somebody has graciously allowed you to come in, then you should come in with the utmost respect and you should be prepared to participate. Does that mean, as I'm placing hands on a patient to do a manual technique, that you place your hands on top of mine and our eyes meet? Oddly enough, nobody answered that question. I'm a little disturbed at what you're being taught.
No.
Did I hear a no? Did I hear yes? You have to be aware of the situation. You're coming in. If I pepper you with a question, you should know the answer. If you don't know the answer, what should you do? Find it, right? This is the age of technology. You should pull out your phone and look it up right away. Agree? No! Not unless I tell you to. Didn't we just discuss you whip your phone out? What test do you guys have tomorrow?
Orthopedics and foundational concepts.
Orthopedic and what?
Foundation.
Foundations.
It's like 2 more classes.
I can help you guys study. Okay. If I ask you a question, you should know the answer. If you don't know the answer, in my opinion, take a guess. What's another word for a guess? Hypothesis. Take an educated guess. I like that. You whispered it, but I heard it. Thank goodness the camera's on. I caught you. Educated guesses are fine. In fact, just to riff off Lauren a little bit, ask your CIs in the beginning. Ask in the clinic, is it okay if I make educated guesses? Is it okay? I like to be tested. What's the best way that I can be tested in this environment? Come prepared. And I want you to know if you're in my clinic, come prepared as you want. I'm still going to hear it. I don't know is unacceptable. It's only acceptable in my clinic for the first 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, I will stop you from saying, I don't know. So, come prepared. We don't show up empty-handed. Empty-handed is come up with enthusiasm, be conscious of people's privacy, respect your patients, respect the host of the party. You are a guest in the house is the biggest thing I want to emphasize. And I want to jump in a little bit with Lauren. So communication skills. You talked about emails and text messages. We use text messages because I have an odd setup clinic where our front desk is a good 20-foot walk away. So we communicate via text message. And our clinic is an open space with 6 tables and people running constantly. So we are constantly texting communications. I'm going to give you an FYI. Text messages and emails. Do not start them with the word, hey. That makes me nuts. Okay, Dan, you're old. Everybody says, hey. Hey, Lauren, good to see you. That's okay. Don't send your email to me, hey. Be professional. Hello. Hi. Hey makes me nuts. Little things like the inappropriate use of the word like, the filler word weird things like that. Start realizing, how do we communicate with people? How can I stand up here and keep you entertained and not want to leave? Because I've figured out how to communicate. When you come in, don't come empty-handed. Be prepared to communicate. I am finding that I'm going to make fun of your generation. You guys don't know how to communicate. How many people want to argue with me about that? It's going to be none of you, because none of you know how to talk. But I'll debate you if you'd like to come at me. You have to figure out how to communicate. We are going to be talking to patients, all of us. Yes, we will. You have to be able to look people in the eye. You have to figure out how to communicate. Fun fact, and I'm going to look for an answer. How quickly, studies have shown, how quickly do you establish rapport when meeting somebody? Take a guess.
12 seconds.
I got 12. I went this corner. 10.
First time you look at him.
It's a weird answer to a question about time. But I like it. It's like you and I, our eyes are locked. We're connected. You're like a soulmate person, aren't you?
Establish the rapport.
Our rapport is, I can't even take my eyes off it. How long?
5. I think it's 7 seconds.
10, 15.
It's 5. Study shows 5 seconds. Within 5 seconds, you need to establish rapport. How long does it take to establish trust?
It depends.
That's a great answer. 100% right. Stand on it. What do you mean, it depends?
Well, first of all, that's our teacher's favorite saying. It depends on the person. Maybe they have trust issues and need a little bit longer. Maybe they can trust people immediately. Depends on the person.
How do you know that?
Verbal signs, physical signs.
Mhm.
There's a lot of different ways that they
Right.
communicate that.
Number 1, you establish rapport in the first 5 seconds. You put them at ease by making eye contact, shaking their hand, introducing yourself, and showing them that you are confident in what you do. Clinics are run differently. Ours has a light atmosphere, but we know our stuff, and I will put you on the spot. My other advice is find your own voice. You're not going to be my voice. You're not going to be the voice of anybody else in my clinic or any of your instructors. You need to figure out what your voice is, and the only way to find out your voice is through reps. Reps are done by meeting people, making eye contact, having a conversation. Respect the house rules, and you get an invite back. So, anybody that comes to our clinic, we've changed it over the years. I actually didn't tell you this. We've changed it over the years, so now there's an interview process. And you have to come into the clinic to see what it's like first, because you have to qualify to be able to come in. Because why would I start doing that? And I want somebody different. Even though I like how I can just see you between those two heads, you and I, we still have a bond. I want a different answer from a different person. Give it to me.
I'm not a PT, but just in general, make
Okay.
sure that they fit with like the vibe of the office. 'Cause that's something we look for when we're hiring like people in our office too.
100%. Nope, you were first.
I was gonna say, you've had people break the rules many times.
Yes, I wouldn't say break the rules, they won't last. I'm very abrupt. What do you got? Both of you. Go.
People can sound good on paper and over email,
Mhm.
but meeting them in person is entirely different.
Right.
Like, I was gonna say that's just first impression.
Yeah. So it's interesting. Do you want to know what's interesting to me? When I got invited to talk at this etiquette, I actually, if you know me, Dave does, it's like the funniest invitation I've ever gotten. But once we started talking about it, I realized this is everything that bothers me when you come into a clinic. Lack of preparedness, guest in someone's house, inappropriate talk, inappropriate attire, hey emails. Okay, I took notes off yours, I wanted to have. So, if you want to be invited back, you follow the rules and you bring good energy. You have to be an asset to the clinic. All of you should be an asset. And it should be mutual. I want you to be an asset for me, so I can be an asset for you. Show respect to everyone. Confidence and kindness go far. Be someone that they're glad to have around. You want to be that person that enjoys being in a session. The guests at the party should say, hey, they were fun. Let's bring Jimmy back. I want Joan to come in here. Hey, you said that was a student, but the way they treated me, they could do whatever they want with me. Which has happened in my clinic multiple times. In fact, if you look at our clinic, we have 5-star reviews, which not going to we're going to keep them up. A couple of those reviews are of our interns. Our patients have gone out of their way to name the intern that treated them. So I hired her because we like to be around. Be someone that you want to be invited back to the party. Don't be the drunk idiot at the party that everybody wants you to come back because they want it to be lively so you can make fun of them. But be the entertaining person. Be someone who's engrossed in the activity. Learn things from people. Your patients have a history to tell you. I did home care for 12 years while I was building up my clinic. And my favorite people to talk to, which unfortunately are running out, you probably won't get to meet them, were World War II vets. And have them have conversations with me of what they were doing when they were 17 years old in Germany, and I was 17, half drunk in high school at the train tracks. It was embarrassing. But to listen to their story was amazing. Everybody has a story. Teenagers have a story. Their parents have a story. Everybody has a story. Communicate. Learn from them. Take information. You're not just in the clinic to learn from me, but to learn from everybody. And everybody in that clinic wants to see you succeed. Are you going to have some people that say, I don't want the student? Yes. Can you learn from them? Yes. What did you just learn? They don't want a student. Why not? Because they don't feel you're educated enough. To me, it's a hurdle I have to overcome. So what I'll do is I'll talk to them, then I'll put the student on them anyways. But that's how I remember. So I want to see how the student's going to handle that situation, how the patient's going to handle the situation. The key is respect the people, even the angry ones. Your miserable patients are your best ones. That is hard to believe. The happier ones are always going to tell other people. If you can turn the miserable ones will tell everybody. Be the guest at the party that people want to have come back. You want the host to identify that they want you to come back. What if the host says, I don't have any parties coming up, but I know somebody? Everybody has the possibility of giving you an opportunity. Don't wreck the party. Leave it better than you found it. You don't want to come in with the impression of the email story I just told you. You don't want to come in with the impression that when somebody came in to visit my clinic, they didn't know who I was, and if you saw the layout of my clinic, you could be anybody. And they were waiting for me on their phone. What did I already tell you? Everybody's watching. If you didn't know I was here and I sat back there, I could have said I'm a PA. Why was that funny? Are you saying I'm too old to be a PA? I heard that laughter. Impression is everything. If you're going to come in and present like that, more than likely you're going to leave it like that. My clinic has a great reputation. Clinics you go to are going to have great reputations. What if you leave that clinic worse than when you came in? What do you think is going to happen to the next person? There's not going to be a next person. Sure as heck wouldn't be from this school. How hard is it for you to get clinical rotations? It's pretty hard. Yeah. Do they still have to spend time out of state? That stinks.
75 miles away.
Yeah, that stinks. That's brutal. How many PT schools are around here?
20 in Pennsylvania.
Thank you very much. Pennsylvania, all of Pennsylvania. I was just going Western PA.
Oh, there's 8 in this area.
I mean, we could walk to them.
Yep.
And they all want to come into the clinic. My clinic takes one. I take one person. I still owe you paperwork, but I take one person.
You do everything.
You were late in answering me.
48 hours.
I'm gonna double check.
I can do that right now.
I pull my phone out, but it's videotaping this room. I forgot till I just talked to you. All right, a lot of things on my plate, but you wouldn't come back, and the next person would not come back. We're very selective, and I think clinics should be selective, and I think you should be selective of clinics. because you want to get a better education. It's about your education. Are you going to treat patients? Am I going to bill off of your treatments? Yes. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Am I being paid enough by your reimbursement to deal with you? No. It is not enough. It's grossly underpaid. But I like seeing students get an opportunity that I didn't get. So I will always be honest with you. Are you going to come in and get thrown a whole caseload of patients? No. You build up on it. Take notes like you're gathering party tips for your host, for your next host. Carry what you take into your next party. Every party you get invited to is an opportunity for you to show that person how well you're doing. Lauren mentioned it's a very, very small community. Incredibly small community. All right. I can't believe Dave's here. Actually, I do. Once he saw it was me, I knew he'd be here. Participate, reflect, and grow. Make it a party worth remembering. If you leave my clinic, as an example, you will know you were at a party. You will come out of there knowing a lot. Most clinics, the expectations are high. They're high for you to do well, to support the host and his guests, for you to get an outstanding education. You should have an opportunity to be like a trapeze artist and fly, but with a net. We will always catch you. I might let the net sag and let you strike the ground, but not as hard as you should, but we will always catch you. After you take your boards, exams, you're flying without a net. The beauty of your clinic is we're a net. If you get the right people, I want to see you succeed. So, make yourselves worthy of the party. Oh, I had this. What did I have? Clarifying questions. Okay. I love clarifying questions. If I do not make sense, ask me a question. Do not parrot the same question back to me. Makes me crazy. How many fingers do I have up? How many fingers do you have up? On your hand? Yes. Your right hand? Yes. On the front or on the back? That's stalling for time. Clarifying questions are, hey, just, ask a question. Can you explain this a little bit more? I'm not familiar. It's been a while since I've had that. Next time I'm in, I'll be brushed up on it. Could you help me get through this? I will hammer you, but I will also give you an answer. Don't be afraid of your CIs. They are there to help you. They should be there to help you grow and be better people. The beauty of being in the clinic is you are not always going to be in school. Everything might lead to your next gig. What party am I going to next? How crazy is it that I'm talking in this? I would have never thought I'm talking in the etiquette class. We've been laughing about this all week. Think of the clinic as more than just a learning space. It's a network event. Do I want you going in handing out cards? No. But if you give good impressions, people will remember and people will ask. People will come to me and say, who is that person? They would be ideal for this. Your clinical instructor might reach back to the school and say, hey, I really like this person. I think I'm going to hire them. You did a great job. I don't have an opening, but I will bend over backwards to see where I can find you something. Your patients might say, hey, you have no idea who you're working with. It could be anybody from a first grade teacher to one of the donors at Duquesne who actually got an award here 4 years ago. You would have no idea, especially that guy. He likes to post middle fingers on my door, so whenever I come in, I have them. But you would never know that this dude's off the charts. You just don't know. It doesn't matter. I treat everybody the same. You're testing your skills. Show what you can do and make impressions that could open doors. Show what you can do. Be open to learn more. Do I know all the answers? Yes. In my little clinical world, I know all the answers. No, that's a joke. You don't know the answers. None of us know the answers. Open conversations. You would be surprised. Conversations that I've had with interns have spurred conversations that make me start to think. I like that stuff. Clinicians, staff, even patients, someone might be connected to your future job. I did home care for 12 years. I work in a building. There's a primary care physician. They're concierge medicine, so they only take cash. And there's a woman that works at the front desk who I have not seen in 8 years, but we worked together for 10 years at a home care company. That's weird. You have no idea how small this community is. Absolutely no idea. I can say something to Dave. I could insult him. I can go out and insult him to other people, and eventually it's going to get back to him. Mostly because I walk into his office and tell him. True story. It's a very, very small community. Even if you leave the state or this area, it's still a very small community. I have a patient right now, we have an interesting clinic, so we have an insurance-based program and a cash-based program. And I have a patient who pays a lot of money to come and see me. They were sent to me from Atlanta because of a friend of mine who works in Atlanta. They now go to CMU and they needed treatment. So he called me personally and said, can you see them? That's weird. I got another referral from a colleague I ran into from Wisconsin because somebody found her blog page from Pennsylvania, looked it up, asked about what they do. She knew me, sent them to me. It's a very small community. Bring your best self. Someone might say, hey, there's hey. We should hire that person. Okay. You want to make sure that you're coming in for the opportunities. I didn't see that. Nobody saw it. You want the opportunities to learn. Etiquette. Etiquette means come in and respect my house. If you don't respect my house, I will kindly take you outside and ask you to, respect my house. If it continues, I won't be as respectful. And if it happens again, I will escort you out. Actually, that's a lie. You wouldn't get past the second hug. Just realize it's not a threat. You're in somebody's house. You're at my party. Be a party guest. Take the opportunities to learn things from other people. Take the opportunity to be professional. Whatever they ask you to wear. So here's a funny story. I had an intern come in who was a female, and she said, what should I wear? And I said, well, we wear khakis and polos. I did not know how offensive khakis and polos were to women.
Yeah, it's helpful.
Huh. I found out
Yeah.
a month in when we got to know each other and they vented on me. I did hire them because they were amazing, but you don't have to wear khakis in my clinic anymore. Dress appropriate. I'm going to tell you another pet peeve of mine. The word comfy. I hate the word comfy. Can it just be comfortable? I have all the students coming in from high school right now that are comfy, which means Ugg slippers, sweatpants, torn up shirts. And you guys all know exactly what I'm talking about. Can you be comfortable and still be professional? Yes. If your clinic asks you to wear khakis and a polo shirt and you're a female, what do? You wear khakis and a polo shirt. Is there a point in time when you can complain about it? I don't know the answer. In my clinic, it came up as a question, therefore I changed it. Otherwise, you would be coming in wearing khakis and polo shirts.
How did you phrase it?
I think I'm at the end. Only because I looked at the time. Anybody have any questions? Yes?
Yeah, for future reference, what question did she ask that made the policy change?
She said, I hate these khakis and polos. Khakis on women are not flattering. And I said, well, what do you mean? There's khakis in everything. And the conversation was, khaki is a color. Khaki pants are a different cut. I know everything about cut colors of pants. So we have open conversations, and I think it came up as a joking conversation that then ran for about 3 days in the clinic. And then I changed it. So, yeah, no more khaki. Any other questions? And I'm going to hang out. If you guys have to go, I saw 2 take off because they panicked. They saw I was going to come up there. If you have any questions, I will hang out. I have no place to be. I really don't have a life. I just wait till the next day and go back into the clinic because I'm so jazzed. Any final questions? Yeah.
I know you talked a lot about asking, answering questions.
Mm-hmm.
When we want to ask a question, when is an appropriate time to do that? You don't want to ruin your flow with the patient, and you also want to make sure, can I always ask in front of the patient? What if it's a sensitive question?
Sure. It's a great question. The way you just asked me that question is what you would ask a CI before you start. If it's a sensitive question, and in your head you're thinking it's sensitive, wait. I give all interns a notepad that they keep in their back pocket, because I don't want you typing on your phones unless I tell you, go ahead and look it up. Write those questions down. A, I'm going to quiz you, so you better write stuff down. B, if it's questions like that, you bring them up at the end of the day. You're going to come across things, we can't prepare you for everything. You're going to come across events where you're going to be like, whoa, I don't even know how to handle this. Talk to your CI. We kind of have a signal in our clinic if you're uncomfortable, which is they just come over and say, hey Dan, can you take a look at this patient? Then I will just step in. Talk to your CIs, figure out how you're going to communicate. Because that's key. That's an excellent question. Because, again, we have an open clinic. I would put you on the spot in front of patients. Got to figure it out. If I felt it was an inappropriate situation, I wouldn't call you on the spot. But that's something you have to communicate. And you'll learn that in your clinics typically on your onboarding when you're introduced, I would bring those questions up. I think that's very important. How do you want me to communicate? How do you want me to address you? Is my best way email, text message? Should I have questions at the end? How do we set this up? I think those are excellent questions to ask. Also shows initiative on your part. I don't want to violate HIPAA regulations. I don't want to be interfering with patient care, but if I have a question, should I ask during? Should I raise my hand? I mean, figure it out. I think that's a great question. But each clinic will tell you different. Anybody else?
I know you talked a lot about when you ask the student questions, responding with, I don't know. Is it inappropriate to respond to the question of things that you do know and kind of work through that rather than just guessing?
What color is this bottle? If you told me red, because red is something you know, that might be off base. I see where you're going. I wouldn't have an issue with that as long as the thought process was on track. And it's not an I don't know. I don't know, like I said, I'll let that go from the beginning until I figure out who I'm working with. But once I realize what you know, that's when I don't know won't work. Does that make sense? So it's my job to guide you into what will work. So when it's appropriate is yes, you can discuss down the line, you can say, I'm not sure, but let me just go through. If you're discussing shoulders and shoulder positions, not real familiar, but maybe it's scapular position. Why do they have pain in the front? Well, I know the scapula does this. If you're showing me a level of knowledge, I might nudge you through it. It just depends. Depends on how you ask the question. Flat out saying, what's this called? I don't know. That would kill me. Slowly, that would kill me. Because you're afraid to answer the question. It's really finding a comfort level in your clinic and talking to your clinical instructors. Don't be afraid of your clinical instructors, even if they're mean. They still ultimately want to see the best for you. Okay? I've not always had nice clinical instructors. Actually, I've reprimanded in 2 of my clinics. It's a whole different clinical rotations, whole different conversation. But one for talking too much. Other one for making my patient laugh when nobody else was. Oh well. Anybody else? Cool, because I'm done. Like I said, I'll hang out. If you have any questions, let me know. If you need help on your test, let me know. If you want me to talk to Dave afterwards, take him out to the bar, get some answers. Give me your emails. I'll send them over.
Thank you.
The only last thing I want is if everybody could gather together for a quick picture. I hope I got that. 47.